Hey folks, Dr. Joe Esposito here. So glad you could join us today. We're going to talk about metabolism because I get this question a lot, and patients say, well, Dr. Joe, I think I'm eating right. I'm following all your advice, and I'm just not losing weight. Well, it could be that A, not following my advice, and that's usually the problem. I sit down with people and I'll say, well, let's look at what you're eating. Well, I'm doing what you say. And then I look at what they're eating. It's like, hey, you're really not doing what I say. Okay. So we cover that. And then there's some things that you might be able to control to help your metabolism. We're going to cover all that as well. So your genes are pretty important. They control everything. And of course, some people have won a genetic lottery. If you look at them, they're tall, they're dark, they're handsome, they're beautiful. So they may have just an amazing pool of genes that they came from that mixed together that made this incredible specimen. Now, that being said, everybody's got problems. Everybody's got issues. So you may look at something on the outside and say, oh my gosh, that's amazing. Yet internally, there could be some genetic issues going on. But when it comes to metabolism, that's how your body changes food into energy. If your body is slow at burning calories while you rest or sleep, you're probably going to get that from your parents. And so there's a genetic issue. Some people just burn calories better than others. I remember back in high school, I used to play hockey, and my one friend, Jim, he could eat anything, and he did eat anything, skinny as a rail. Well, as he got older, things changed, and he doesn't have that gift anymore, as I found out at our reunion. Since you can't change your genes, you got to focus on your habits. It's what you're doing that is going to affect it, because some people are faster runners than others. Some people are smarter than others. Those are the things we have genetically, but we can alter how our body works around that. So one of the best ways to pep up your metabolism is get moving. Keep the body in motion. If you do something as simple as 20 squats a day, that's going to be a step in the right direction. Now, some people say, Dr. Joe, I don't like working out. I don't like working out either. I don't like going to the gym. I've never been a gym rat. I tried, didn't like it. But I like going out for walks. I like hiking. I like gardening. I like being outside. So there are things that you can do to keep the body in motion. And something as simple as 20 squats a day. You can do it while brushing your teeth. You're supposed to brush your teeth for how long? 2 minutes, right? Get an electric toothbrush, has a 2-minute timer. While you're brushing your teeth, just do some gentle squats. You don't have to go all the way down to the ground, but just using those big muscles, like your leg muscles and your gluteus muscles, that's going to help tremendously with getting the body in shape. And then once you do that, you'll have a little more energy, and then maybe you want to walk to the grocery store. Where I live, I can walk to 2 different grocery stores. Now, it's sometimes a little bit of a walk, but a lot of times I'll say, you know what, I could drive and be there in 3 minutes, or I could just go for a walk. And something as simple as that is going to help tremendously with your metabolism, just getting that body in motion. Your hormones. A shift in your hormones can really put a brake on your metabolism. And this is why when we get older, it's going to happen. Your hormones change, and so that's going to affect your metabolism. You might get tired. Certain conditions like underactive thyroid, overactive thyroid, diabetes, hormone diseases, these things can all affect your metabolism. Stress also releases hormones, and that can slow down your metabolism. When you're under stress, either chemical, mental, or physical stress, your adrenal glands produce something called cortisol. Now, cortisol is a hormone that's released, and it's designed to give you reserve of energy. Okay, so I'm being chased by a tiger. That's always the classic example, right? My cortisol is going to kick in, and my body's going to utilize as much energy as it possibly can and make sure it keeps producing it and storing it, because we don't know when that attack's going to end. Well, in nature, if I slip and fall and I grab onto something, there's a rush of cortisol, and I didn't fall, my body stabilized itself. It's okay. When you're under constant stress, chemical, physical, emotional stress, the body's constantly dumping out this cortisol. Cortisol causes you to lay down fat. Fat produces a hormone called estrogen. Estrogen causes you to lay down fat. So cortisol, fat, estrogen, fat. Now you're stressed out because you're fat. You produce more cortisol. And now you're stuck in this cycle. And so what we try to do in our offices is we try to find out why you're under stress. Is it chemical stress? Chemical stress is easy to deal with. Listen to our shows, what to eat, what not to eat. On our website, drjoe.com, you can type in the 7 deadly sins of nutrition. And that's a show we did about the 7 foods you want to avoid. The second one I want you to type in is called, So What Can I Eat? And then we'll go into what you can eat. Okay, so that's a real good starting point. What can I, 7 Deadly Sins of Nutrition, and then So What Can I Eat? Listen to those 2 shows. That's your starting point for the chemical stresses. And then we covered a lot more and other things too. Then you want to look at the physical stress. If you have neck pain, back pain, shoulder pain, numbness, tingling, physical stress can cause your body to release cortisol. Cortisol, again, causes you to lay down fat, a lot of that belly fat, which we can talk about coming up. But fat produces estrogen. So once again, we're figuring out why is that cortisol high, and then what can we do to lower it? So if you have pain, neck pain, back pain, shoulder pain, numbness, tingling, it's very simple. Come see us. Chiropractic is the #1 treatment for pain, for back pain. So if you have back pain and there's nothing urgent, for example, you haven't lost bowel and bladder control. If you lose bowel and bladder control, get to the emergency room right away. It's probably a ruptured disc, and that's something that's outside of our scope of practice. But if you're the average person, 98% of the people out there with back pain and neck pain and shoulder pain and radiating pain, you might want to come see us, because hopefully we can get to the cause of the problem and not just treat the symptoms. And then the pain goes away, lowers your cortisol level, your metabolism kicks back in, you stop storing so much fat, estrogen levels change. A lot of good things happen when you get out of pain. So people think, well, I have neck pain, I just need to get out of pain. Yeah, but there's a lot of things going on that are affecting everything, including your metabolism and your hormones. If you're not getting enough sleep, that can be an issue. So good shut-eye is really important. If you toss and turn at night, it's harder for your body to use energy well, and that can lead to things like diabetes, obesity. So if you're not sleeping, the #1 reason I find that people aren't sleeping is they have pain. Okay, you have neck pain, you have back pain, restless leg syndrome, you lay in bed, oh, my back hurts, I got to roll over. So it comes back again to pain. So pain is directly related to your metabolism. So if you want to come see us, we would love to be your doctors. So if you have an issue, if you have neck pain, back pain, shoulder pain, headaches, sciatica, I could list tons of different types of pain. If you have pain, generally speaking, chances are very high that you would benefit from treatment at our office. Chiropractic care, medical care, we're a chiropractic and medical center. So if you want to make an appointment, you can do it right online, drjoe.com. We have offices in Marietta, Duluth, Stockbridge, and West Cobb. We would love to be your doctors. So if you want to make an appointment, please feel free to do that. You can call us. The numbers are all over the website, and we accept most insurances, car accidents, sports injuries. I cannot say this enough. If you're in a car accident, if the car was damaged, you were damaged 100% of the time. So you want to come see us as quickly as possible. I know I did a show the other day, and someone listening sent us a message on our live stream, and it said, I was in an accident yesterday. I said, make the appointment. We will make it happen for you the next day. And they did, and we got them right in. So the quicker you get to us, the better it's going to be for you, easier it's going to be to deal with the insurance companies too. The insurance companies look for every excuse they can not to pay bills. Anybody ever deal with an insurance company? Am I telling the truth? Yes. Getting in as quickly as possible takes away some of their power to say, well, you weren't hurt. You didn't go to the doctor right away. Well, you were hurt. Maybe you didn't have a car. Maybe you couldn't get out of bed. But they use that as an excuse. So come see us right away, drjoe.com. We'd love to see you. Initially, the initial visit is normally $375. We've reduced that to $199. Now, we're going to change that very soon. We're going to have to raise that price again. So it's an exam, x-rays, consultation, first adjustment, going over the x-rays on the next visit, and a nutrition evaluation. Nutrition evaluation alone is $150. So just come see us, and we'll get these things under control. And so if we can manage the pain, that's going to help your cortisol levels, which hopefully is going to help your metabolism. If you eat a weird diet, now you're thinking to yourself, but Dr. Joe, you eat a weird diet. Yes, I'm vegan. I've been vegan for 34 years, and vegan and plant-based. Because you can be vegan and be eating cookies and cakes and donuts and pastas, and that's not really a healthy diet. I eat a plant-based vegan diet. And I've been doing it for 34 years now. So far, so good. If it wasn't working, I'd eat meatball sandwiches. So going on these crazy diets, these strict diets, and some people may think vegan is strict, but I worry, like even going on a ketogenic diet. I'm not a fan. I understand the principle behind it. I get the science that people say, but it's really hard to maintain. So if your body is used to burning ketones, because you go to a ketogenic diet, and then you start eating carbohydrates again. The body says, woohoo, I got carbohydrates. I'm going to store this as fat because I'm going to need this for later because I don't know when I'm going to get carbohydrates again. So there is a downside to that. And if you do ketogenic diet, if you're going to do it, I'm okay with that. I wouldn't do it for more than 3 months at a time because the studies are showing possibly it may lead to heart issues. And I'm not willing to take that chance. So, and again, I don't think it's necessary, but I don't argue with patients. If you're going to do it, I recommend cycling in and out. But be careful. When you come off it, you may start putting on some weight. So diets usually don't work. Long-term lifestyle protocols work very well. And so if you eat a plant-based diet, your metabolism changes. The bacteria in your colon changes. Everything changes. People say to me all the time, well, Dr. Joe, what if you were to eat a steak one day? I don't have the enzymes in my body that I would need to properly digest a steak because I haven't had one in decades. So I wouldn't do real well with that, I don't think. So your body does change. You adapt and you evolve based on your diet. So if you're eating a good, healthy, plant-based vegan diet, you're going to evolve to this new level of healthiness, and it's not a bad thing. If you're using a lot of salt, salt can cause you to store fat. And so you bloat, I guess, to store water. And so many times if you have a high salty diet, you look puffy. I used to know a gal, and she used that term puffy a lot. Oh, I met this guy, and I gave him a hug, and he was puffy. And that could be the body with a lot of inflammation. Could be a lot of salt, too. So I use air-dried sea salt. I use some of it. I don't use a lot of salt. And what will happen is this. When you start eating better, your lifestyle is going to change. Your digestive system is going to change, and your palate is going to change. I can't eat a lot of sugary foods anymore. I haven't had sugar in a long time, but if I eat something that's really sugary, like say, oh, try this piece of organic vegan chocolate, I notice right away, this is so sweet. When for most people, it's not, because you will get a more refined palate and you'll use a lot less seasonings and things like caffeine and salt because your body doesn't need it anymore. Your brain is working more efficiently. Now, sometimes people will say you need iodine. Well, not sometimes. You always need iodine. And most people get their iodine from iodized salt. Most people in the United States, or most countries, don't get a lot of iodine in their diet. And that's unfortunate because the iodine is necessary for the thyroid to work. And the thyroid is one of the major controllers of your metabolism. So if you're not eating sea vegetables on a regular basis, chances are you're not getting enough iodine. You might get enough to survive, but not enough to thrive. I take Super Greens and Essential Source every day. One of the many reasons, it's a supplement, 2 supplements. One of the many reasons I take them is because they have sea vegetables in them. When I created Super Greens and Essential Source, I made sure that we put sea vegetables in there. Now, the sea vegetables are amazing because they help with your iodine, which helps the thyroid work more efficiently, which can help your metabolism. Pretty cool stuff there. So I'm Super Greens and Essential Source. If you don't know what they are, it's the minimum supplements everybody should be taking every day, in my opinion. Essential Source is prebiotics, probiotics, digestive enzymes, a complete multivitamin, and concentrated fruits and vegetables in a powder form. Most people don't get enough what? Fruits and vegetables. So I was thinking when I was creating this, how can I make it so easy and so inexpensive and taste great that people can't argue with me anymore? And that's when we created Super Greens and Essential Source. I take a scoop of each. I like the mint-flavored Essential Source. Essential Source Super Greens. Super Greens comes in plain and mint. I like the mint. It's my favorite. So I take a scoop of mint. I take a scoop of Essential Source, shake it up in a little jar with some coconut milk or almond milk, drink it every day. One of the many reasons is it has iodine in it. And it's sea vegetables, which is the best form of iodine because it has other nutrients with it that work synergistically. They work together instead of just taking iodine. So I like it. I can't imagine a day without it. And I'm hoping when you start taking it, most people tell me the same thing. How did I live without this stuff? This stuff's amazing. It's relatively inexpensive, too. It's only a couple of dollars a day, and it's spectacular. So anyway, minimum supplements you should take is Super Greens and Essential Source, at least for the iodine, and that'll get the thyroid working better. Another thing that can make us fat, slow down our metabolism, is we don't drink enough water. And this is a big issue. Because most people don't drink enough water. And the reason is that the part of our brain, when you're a baby, there's a part of your brain that controls hunger and a part of your brain that controls thirst. And when you're a baby, you can tell the difference. When you become a toddler, those two parts of the brain grow together. So now you have a real tough time distinguishing between hunger and thirst. And so many times when you're hungry, you're not hungry, you're thirsty. And so a simple rule to increase your metabolism is I want you to have a big glass of water, 8, 16 ounces, however much you want to drink, before every meal. And you will be amazed how much less food you eat. It's fascinating. You'll blow your mind. So that alone, and I'm giving you tons of different tips. Take them all if you can. Take some. But these are the things you can do to increase your metabolism. Because as we get older, our metabolism is going to slow down. So we have pain, which will create cortisol, which will increase your metabolism, which will slow down your metabolism, and cause you to store fat. We have bad diet. We have digestive issues. We just have age. So these are the things that I can't change the age, but I can change everything else. Caffeine will actually increase your metabolism. Now, I'm not telling you to drink coffee. Coffee is one of my 7 deadly sins. I don't think you should drink coffee. However, people that drink coffee sometimes are thin. And sometimes you look at these people and you'll say, my gosh, she's so thin. He's so thin. How's he do it? You don't know the backstory. They may be smoking. Nicotine's a stimulant. It'll increase your metabolism. They may be sucking down 10, 15 cups of coffee a day. Yeah, you're thin, but you could die sooner. So I don't think that's a good idea. You have a pretty corpse, but I don't want you to have a pretty corpse. I want you to have an old, wrinkled up corpse. That's my goal for you. I want you to have a 120-year-old corpse. So drinking caffeine might increase your metabolism, but the downside far outweighs the benefits. If you're not getting enough calcium, you need a lot more than just bones. People think calcium is just about bones, but it's a key nutrient in good metabolism. So green leafy vegetables, best source of calcium. I am not a fan of milk as a source of calcium. If you go to our website, drjoe.com, listen to the show we did on dairy products. And we discussed for 2 hours why I'm not a fan of dairy products. Type in dairy in the search bar, hit enter, the show should come up. And I'm not a fan of dairy products. And in fact, the studies show that the more dairy products you consume, the higher the rate of osteoporosis. What? Yes. Studies have shown the more dairy products you consume, the higher the rate of osteoporosis. The rationale behind it, we believe, is that dairy products, when you pasteurize them, the calcium will bind to a protein called casein. You need an enzyme called renin to break down casein. Well, we don't produce renin. As adult humans, we don't produce renin. So you can't break down the casein to free up the calcium. And milk has amino acids in it, like methionine and cysteine, which are acids, and the body needs calcium to neutralize acids. And so you actually lose calcium by ingesting dairy products. And there's a ton of other reasons why I'm not a dairy fan, but from a calcium standpoint, not a good idea. So I've been practiced 36 years now, 7 degrees I think I have now, working on new certification as well on traumatic brain injuries. So I've been learning every day for the past 35, 40 years. And I've yet to see somebody who eats a plant-based diet have osteoporosis. Never saw it happen. I've seen lots of people on a dairy diet or a meat diet that have osteoporosis. I never saw anyone on a plant-based diet. Now, I'm not saying it doesn't exist. I'm saying I've never seen it. And so not getting enough calcium could be because, ironically, you're drinking more milk. So if you're eating a plant-based diet with fruits, vegetables, nuts, and seeds, you're getting plenty of calcium. You won't have to worry about that. Some people just have a high thermostat in their body. Okay, the hypothalamus is the part of the brain that controls temperature. And sometimes the hypothalamus is overactive, and these are people that are always hot, always sweaty. Well, many times what happens is that crashes over time. So you may have a high metabolism, and you get hypermetabolism to hypometabolism. So if that's the case, we want to try to find out why. What I find sometimes people that are hot, if they're not going through menopause, because again, that's an estrogen hypothalamus issue, they may have a digestive issue. And the digestive system is controlled by what's called the parasympathetic nervous system. One big nerve, especially, what's my favorite nerve? If you're a regular listener, say it with me, the vagus nerve. So if the vagus nerve is being irritated because the digestive system isn't working properly, it can affect the balance between sympathetics and parasympathetics. It's a lot of confusing stuff here. Sympathetic nerves speed you up, parasympathetic nerves slow you down. So if you're getting these hot flashes, we can do blood work. We can do blood work at our offices, and we're more than happy to do that for you. And in fact, I just had a patient earlier, I guess it was yesterday, and she was getting hot flashes, but she wasn't menopausal. And so we did a blood work on her. I looked at it. My medical doctors looked at it. Everything's perfect. Doctor even said, I wouldn't touch anything on this blood work. It's amazing. And so now we have to look at, is it a sympathetic, parasympathetic issue? And chances are it is. It's probably coming from the digestive system. So if we can fix the digestive system, hopefully we kick in the parasympathetic nervous system, and that'll slow down the body and slow down those hot flashes. Follow all that? I know it gets a little confusing here. Medications can affect your metabolism. Antipsychotic drugs that may be used for schizophrenia, that can slow down the heart rate, and many times that can affect the metabolism. If you're going to like we talked about, these high-protein diets, well, that can help for a while, but it could have a rebound effect and not work real well. If you're up at night a lot, that changes your circadian rhythms, and that can adversely affect your metabolism as well. And also trying to eat meals at the same time. Okay, if you have meals at the same time, when you start switching things up, that can affect metabolism as well. And of course, the big one is if you're eating a high-fat diet. Now, I know the ketogenic diet, they recommend a lot of fats, but you still can't eat nonstop fats. Too much fat. If you eat fat, you wear fat. That's a phrase one of my mentors told me one time. And yeah, if you eat fat, you wear fat. And so these are the things that can affect your metabolism. So what do we do about it? Again, if you have pain, come see us. Neck pain, back pain, shoulder pain, headaches, numbness, tingling, sciatic pain, restless leg syndrome. My doctors are really good at fixing those things. So if you're suffering, you may be suffering needlessly. And a lot of patients tell me, why did I wait so long? I suffered all these years, totally stupid. I didn't need to do that. So you might want to come see us for pain because we are very good at that. We have a medical division as well. So if we have to do medication, if we have to do injections, we do something called PRP. PRP is platelet-rich plasma. We take out the growth factors in your own blood, spin them down, and inject them back into your body to stimulate your own body's healing. So it works great for arthritis, knee. Again, not everybody's going to respond positively. I can never make a promise, but knee arthritis, shoulder arthritis, carpal tunnel syndrome, tennis elbow. It works very well in most cases for erectile dysfunction. It works well. It's called a P shot for men and an O shot for women. If women have leaky bladder, if they've lost sexual stimulation ability, you might want to consider an O shot as well. A lot of times women cough or sneeze. They've had a couple of kids. I had somebody in the other day. She goes, Dr. Joe, I need an O shot. She said, everything you say, that's me. 3 kids. I'm peeing myself all the time. Romance isn't what it used to be. I need that O shot. Relatively easy procedure too. So if you want to make an appointment, drjoe.com. The supplements we talked about, Super Greens, an essential source. Adrenal support can help with metabolism. Nitric oxide can help with metabolism. B-complex can help with metabolism. All those supplements are available on the website, drjoe.com. We can ship them to you, or you can come see us. We'd love to see you. Pick them up, save some shipping costs. I'm perfectly good with that. And if you do want to make an appointment, normally the first visit for chiropractic is $375. We've reduced that to $199. We're not going to do this for very much longer. drjoe.com. You can book right online, Marietta, Duluth, Stockbridge, or West Cobb, or you can call us. We accept most insurances for treatment after that. We accept Medicare. And if you've ever been in a car accident ever, you need to come see us as quickly as humanly possible, because if those bones are out of place, they're rubbing up against each other and they're wearing out. I'm Dr. Joe Esposito, drjoe.com. We'll be right back.